Hola and bienvenidos everybody. My name is NittPicc, and if you don't know who I am a flutist and a music educator who really enjoys a lot of different kinds of music. Sorry if I sound a little funny. I am just now recovering from being sick. A couple months ago, I did a reaction to Ren, and it was something I was not expecting at all. I was doing this reaction because of a friend of mine, and they were like, you should check this out. And I did not think I was ever going to have a video on YouTube that was going to cause me to just completely lose it. It put me in an interesting place, let's just put it that way. And all of the renegades, you guys were really kind and really nice with your comments, and I really appreciate that, because you never know what someone's going through in their life or what they're going through in that day or in that moment, and I really appreciate your kind words, and I'm glad we're here together. Today we're going to be listening to Sick Boy. From what I've been told, this one's very different from Hi Ren, so I just want to jump into that. But before we do that, if you enjoy the channel, please like and subscribe, and if you really do enjoy a lot of what I do here, there's extra links down below in the description for my Discord and my Patreon if you want to check out some free content as well as some extra content. But yeah, let's jump right into this.
Hi Ren, thank you for coming in today.
Thanks for seeing me.
Looking at your file here, it seems there's a very apparent interplay with your emotional state and your physical body. Have you ever heard of the trauma response?
I don't think so.
Basically, our bodies can get stuck in a negative feedback loop. Our subconscious can repeat patterns from the past, which can have a pretty drastic downstream effect on our biology. Essentially, your mind is making music.
Sick boy, bitten by a tick boy, looking for that fix boy, anabolic steroids, stem cell, poster boy, pass out, white noise, quick fix, snake oil, I'm about to break boy. Oh, what a shame, he's in pain, have another go, take another pill, here, take a couple more, let's see how you're doing in another week or so, you'll be feeling worse when the side effects will show, derealization, medical patient, losing patience with the process, walking hand in hand with Satan, complications with the medication, inflammation, dehydration, inhalation, aggravation, building up a toleration, drown, soccer, drown, soccer, drown, soccer, drown, I've been feeling like I'm drowning with my feet upon the ground, I've been screaming, I've been shouting, but I never make a sound, I've been looking for a way out, but I always seem to drown.
Is this all making sense, Ren?
Yeah, I think so.
Good.
Whoa, okay. We're gonna go back and listen to that again. I know you guys told me, I realized in the last video in Hi Ren, I had the subtitles on. I normally turn them off if I notice that it does not make sense. I do apologize that I had those on last time. This one actually does have subtitles, so I'm actually gonna turn them on just because I want to be able to read some of what he's saying. I understand what he's saying. Speaking of which, what I want to talk about first, what's interesting is in Hi Ren, he's having an internal struggle. And that internal struggle is difficult to deal with in the first place, because the worst part is you're arguing with yourself. And that's, you know, when you're arguing with yourself, you can't leave yourself. But in this case, this sucks, because, and I'm not saying the music sucks. What I'm saying is that this kind of situation sucks, because like the woman here is representing the medical side of everything, right? And what's so frustrating is sitting here listening to her, what it seems and feels like. And I don't know if any of you have gone to the doctor and have experiences. I'm sure many of you have. Is where you're telling the doctor that there is something wrong and you may not know what it is, and they're supposed to help us, but it can feel like, especially when you're trying to find an answer, they're just kind of listening to you, and then they give you something, and then it's like, well, check back within 2 weeks. And it's like, it's like, okay, you're probably the second or third person I've gone to, or maybe the fifth, or maybe the 10th or 100th person. And it feels like an endless cycle. And it feels like you look at this and it feels like he's so exhausted by feeling like he's being thrown for a loop. And you can see that he's remaining patient on the outside, but internally he's tired. And it's like that internal struggle of like, great, I'm sick. Yeah, everyone keeps telling me it's another pill. It's another thing that I have to do. So it's just interesting to kind of listen through that. So I want to go back to the beginning. I love this beat, but I love like his exasperated, his breathing, his pain, his frustration is on beat. And it's almost like the beat is good, but it almost makes you feel uncomfortable. And that's kind of how he wants you to feel. He wants us to feel that feeling of him being uncomfortable. Just kind of like how we would feel uncomfortable, right? Anyway. Changes from a downbeat to an upbeat.
Hi Ren, thank you for coming in today.
Thanks for seeing me.
Looking at your file here, it seems there's a very apparent interplay with your emotional state and your physical body. Have you ever heard of the trauma response?
I don't think so.
Basically, our bodies can get stuck in a negative feedback loop. Our subconscious can repeat patterns from the past, which can have a pretty drastic downstream effect on our biology. Essentially, your mind is making you sick.
That drives me crazy. So yes, trauma response is real. I'm not a doctor, so I'm just saying this from experience. But trauma, yes, it plays a huge factor into how we feel and how we respond to things. But it can't be the end all be all to every single medical thing that we experience. But yes, trauma does play a huge factor into what's making us sick. But I think he feels so, just looking at that moment, and it just makes him, I think it's frustrating to hear something like that. And I think that's where this is coming from. And this part makes me hurt. Because like how many times has he had heard that before, you know? God.
Sick boy, bitten by a tick boy, looking for that fix boy, anabolic steroids, damn cell, poster boy, pass out, white noise, quick fix, snake oil, I'm about to break boy. Oh, what a shame, he's in pain, have another go, take another pill, here, take a couple more, let's see how you're doing in another week or so, you'll be feeling worse when the side effects will show, derealization, medical patient, losing patience with the process, walking hand in hand with Satan, complications with the medication, inflammation, dehydration, inhalation, aggravation, building up a toleration, drown, soccer, drown, soccer, drown, soccer, drown, I've been feeling like I'm drowning with my feet upon the ground, I've been screaming, I've been shouting, but I never make a sound, I've been looking for a way out, but I always seem to drown.
Is this all making sense, Ren?
Yeah, I think so.
Good. What I propose we do is we try to pinpoint the exact experiences from the past that are keeping you stuck. What can you tell me about your childhood?
I can't really think.
It's okay if nothing comes up right away. What I'd like you to do is take some deep breaths with me. In and out. In and out. Good. Now tell me the first thing that comes to your mind.
I feel like it's not me, it's the world that's sick. We're given everything we need and we commoditize it. We consume, we destroy like we're parasitic. Science tells us that it's suicide and still we commit. I'm not sick, we are sick. We are standing on a cliff in the name of progress. We jump off the precipice. I'm not sick, I'm the virus, you're the virus, hypocrite. How can you sit there with that smile on and tell me that I'm sick? Sick boy, looking for a fix boy. Push it down in public, quick pose for the pick boy. Record label meetings that commodify your gift boy. Why you so upset? Don't you wanna be a rich boy? Fuck no, industry is cutthroat. I've been doing bits by myself, swimming backstroke, walking on a tightrope, rapping with a slit throat. The way that we persist is like the ending of a bad joke. As the people evolve, we're complacent to assailants and we do what we're told. reason, cause I'm doing the same.
Whoa, okay. So over here, when he starts talking about the medication where they're giving him things to help, but it's like everything's making everything worse before it actually gets better. And that is extremely frustrating. Whenever anyone gets sick, it's like, especially when they don't know what is wrong with you, you feel like an experiment. And no human, no living thing should go through feeling like an experiment. All that portion over here, I feel so bad because he's been living with Lyme disease, from what I understand, and he's been looking for an answer this whole time, and I think he's just now figuring out, or it's just recent that he's finally gotten answers for all that. And what's really interesting here is we see the doctor, psychiatrist, or whatever she's supposed to be in this sense, flip back and forth, like flicker between the pig doctor and back to her normal form, as if like the people that we're supposed to trust with our health and well-being aren't always trustworthy. What's interesting is that not only does he start talking about the mental and physical body being connected, he continues on, and it begins this how like society is actually what's wrong with everything. And it's neat. It's like we're delving into so many things, and I mean, he's not wrong. I'm gonna start back over here.
This all making sense, Ren?
Yeah, I think so.
Good. What I propose we do is we try to pinpoint the exact experiences from the past that are keeping you stuck. What can you tell me about your childhood?
I can't really think.
It's okay if nothing comes up right away. What
And
I'd
now
like
she's
you
trying
to
to
do is
pull
take
it
some
out
deep
of him.
breaths with me. In and out. In and out. Good. Now tell me the first thing that comes to your mind.
I feel like it's not me, it's the world that's sick. We're given everything we need and we commoditize it. We consume, we destroy like we're parasitic. Science tells us that it's suicide and still we commit. I'm not sick, we are sick. We are standing on a cliff in the name of progress. We jump off the precipice. I'm not sick, I'm the virus, you're the virus, hypocrite. How can you sit there with that smile on and tell me that I'm sick? Sick boy.
Yeah, see, right there in that section, he's talking about like that, the commodification and over consumerism of like society, and because of that, it's like societal suicide. Like we're killing ourselves, our like the humanity, the world, and everything. And I mean, God, he's not wrong. God, what it would be like to sit in a room and have a conversation with him about the world and life and everything. It just seems like for being, not saying that because you're young you can't understand the world, but for being as young as he is, I feel like he's had a grasp on so much around him because of what he's been going through and his life experiences, and he's had so much happen to him that he's seeing a lot of it, and it's hard to see the positives in a lot of that. And yeah, at least that's how I'm thinking of it. Now this part,
Sick boy, looking for a fix boy. Push it down in public, quick pose for the pick boy. Record label meetings that commodify your gift boy. Why you so upset? Don't you wanna be a rich boy? Fuck no, industry is cutthroat. I've been doing bits by myself, swimming backstroke, walking on a tightrope, rapping with a slit throat. The way that we persist is like the ending of a bad joke. As the people evolve, we're complacent to assailants and we do what we're told. Counterintelligence, a sight to behold. Rape the earth of all resources and we bleed it for gold. And we bleed it for wealth, we bleed it for fame. But when you bleed it, can you tell me what the fuck will remain? And I bleed in myself, I bleed in my brain. While I'm bleeding, I'm the reason, cause I'm doing the same.
okay, Now, this part, he starts talking about how even the music industry is guilty of such things, like constantly pushing out artists and stuff like this because of profit. They want money, and he doesn't want to be a part of that system, and like he wants to reject that rich boy persona. But then this last part is him like recognizing his like self-destructive patterns, and he acknowledges those like negative behaviors that then now seem like a similar to that of a virus in his system, I think. Yeah. Anyway, I do want to talk about the music in general. So what's interesting about this is that it's a stark difference from High Ren. And what I find really cool about this is that I have only experienced what he did in High Ren. And not only did he have a gorgeous singing voice, amazing musical ability on the classical guitar, and his ability to shift energy in how he approached both, dark Ren, light Ren, right? This is like hip hop, rap style, and he's great at it. Like the way he approaches it too, the way the beat starts, and the way he uses the beat to accentuate frustration and anger, and the way he just like switches back to like the patient Ren, and meaning like him being a patient, and then the internal monologue Ren that comes out. And it's like, it may not be an internal monologue, maybe it might be him actually talking to a psychiatrist, but I feel like that's him, like what he really wants to say, but he doesn't want to say it because he doesn't want someone to view him as quote unquote unhinged or crazy. Because I know I feel that way sometimes, like when someone's like talking to me and I'm like, I really want to say how I feel right now, but I can't, because if I do, they're going to think I'm crazy, or they're going to think I'm absolutely just unhinged, and I'm going to keep it to myself. I cannot wait for more. I need more. I'm happy that I'm not crying this time though, but I just, there's so much anger and frustration in him, and it's cool to see him, or his art, his life is encapsulated into his art, it's really interesting, and I can't wait to dive into more. Of course, I feel like I'm diving into a lot of him, and I think there's other stuff that that might not be about him, so stuff I might need to check out. But yeah, very, very good stuff here. I really like this. His music makes you think, and I really like that. So obviously I'm going to need to check out more Ren. I want to dive in more. There's so much more to uncover, and I know there's more. And especially if he's got like multiple styles that he does, I'm totally interested and down. He's very good at storytelling, like bard style storytelling. It's really, really, really cool. As usual, let's continue the conversation about music. What do you think about Sick Boy? What do you think about Ren in general? And what else should I check out? I'm curious about his other stuff, if there is something that's not necessarily about his health journey, although I like hearing about it because it's actually interesting to me to learn about someone through their art. So yeah. Anyway, if you enjoyed the content today, please like and subscribe. And if you really enjoyed the content, feel free to check out the links down in the description below for my Discord and my Patreon for free content as well as some extra content. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.